Hey everybody, we're back with our next lesson, which has to do with interpreting the slope as a rate of change. And we're going to begin with this question that says, Emily is spending money at a constant rate. Now suppose she initially has $1,100 and then after 5 months, she has only $800. So now we want to find the rate that expresses how her money is changing. Well, if you look up here on the whiteboard, you see we have what I just read, that Emily initially has the $1,100. After 5 months, she has $800. So we can see that the amount of money she has is decreasing, okay? So that means the rate is going to be negative. Since the amount of money initially is different from what she has now, our rate we know is going to at least be negative. There's going to be another example where the initial amount of money is going to be one thing, but then at some time later it's going to be greater, then the rate's going to be positive. But just want to know, let you know up front that it's going to be a negative answer. All right. So find the rate at which her money is changing. So here's the formula that we're going to use. And this says that the change in amount of money, that's going to be our numerator. And our denominator is going to be the time period. So what do we know? We know that the change in the amount of money means we're going to have to subtract. So then my numerator is going to be 1,100 minus 800. Okay, so that's my numerator. And now my time period is 5 months. And so now this equals, for my numerator, 1,100 minus 800 is 300. And my denominator is still 5. And this is actually dollars, so let me add my dollar signs. And so $300 divided by 5 months equals $60. But remember, it's going to be a negative $60 because the rate at which her money was changing, initially it was higher. She had 1,100 bucks, and then later she had 800 bucks. So that means her amount of money is decreasing. So the rate has to be decreasing. That's why we have the minus sign. So when we're looking at this, you can call it a fraction, call it a ratio. The numerator has to do with amount of money, and then our denominator has to do with a time period. And so we did the subtraction 1,100 minus 800 to give us 300 divided by 5. That gave us 60. And it's going to be, again, negative because she began with 1,100 and she ends up with just 800. And since that shows the amount of money she has is decreasing, our answer has to be negative. Our rate is negative. Okay, that's the first example. I really hope that that makes sense. Okay. So our next problem is a college student takes the same number of credits each semester, or she has 12 credits when she starts, and she has 54 credits when she ends. So it's going to be an increase. And that happens over a 3-month time span. All right, so let's just change a few things up here and then solve this. Okay, so in this example here, we have a student who is earning credits, going to school, taking classes, earning credits. Initially, they start out with just 12 credits in the beginning of the semester. And then after 3 months, they have 54 credits. Okay, so that means the number of credits have increased. So that means our rate is going to increase. That means our final answer is going to be positive. Okay, so what is the rate of earning credits? What we do is subtract 54 minus 12 and divide that by 3 to find out the rate at which this person is earning credits. Okay, so here's the equation we're going to use. Our numerator is going to represent the credits. Our denominator represents the time. In this case, it's months. So 54 credits minus 12 credits will give us 42 credits. And then our denominator is still 3 months. And now 42 divided by 3 gives us 15. I mean, 14 credits per month. Or 14 credits. Yeah, 14 credits. And so those were the two examples I wanted to go through in terms of interpreting a slope. When you think of a slope, you're going to be thinking of how one thing is changing with respect to another. In this case, we're looking at how the credits are changing with respect to time. How the credits and credits represent the numerator, how it's changing with respect to time, with respect to. And even that phrase itself, with respect to, is normally going to mean some kind of fraction is involved. So just keep that in mind as we go forward with other questions. And again, this answer is positive because she started out with 12 credits. She ended up with 54. So that number actually increased by 42. So since the change was positive, that means in the end, our answer has to be positive. I hope this helps when you're working through similar problems. If you need to, as always, go back and take a look at these two examples, and I will see you all in the next video. All right, y'all, take care.